2025. As Stephen predicted, that year, the president enjoyed an all-time high approval rating of 87%. Ironically, 7 years later, Truman also had the lowest ever presidential approval rating of just 22%. Finally, student jokes about requesting a Coca-Cola enema at the hospital. A 2021 article from the Journal of Health and Allied Sciences actually documents 2 cases where this treatment was successfully used to remove large masses of targeted feces from a patient's colon. Please don't try this at home. That's it for the fact check. Coming up next week on No Secret Questions, Stephen and Angela discuss the difference between people who preserve and treasure new things and those who use them as much as possible right away.
What about plastic slipcovers on furniture? What's your position on that?
Having grown up with many relatives and neighbors who had the whole house laminated, I have to say, maybe that's why I don't like to preserve things.
That's next week on No Secret Questions. For that episode, we want to know, are you a person who savors or someone who devours? And tell us a relevant story that comes to mind. As a kid, did you carol with your presents? Or did you keep them on the shelf in the original packaging? Did you eat your Halloween candy as quickly as possible? Or did you hoard it for months? To share your thoughts, send a voice memo to nfq@freakonomics.com with the subject line, user or preserver. Make sure to record someplace quiet, and please keep your thoughts to under.
The challenges that climate change would pose to all of those natural resources, and that's going to be variable. Sometimes it's going to be significant, other times it might not matter at all. Then you're going to have to ask yourself, where are all those things located, and how do they move around the world to get to where I need them to put together the thing that I make? How do I also move the thing that I'm making to the markets where I'm selling it? And in those moments, you start thinking about the ways in which climate change, again, can have impacts on the transportation infrastructure. So yes, key infrastructure becomes really critical here. Rest of ports is probably one of the single biggest things that climate change presents to us right now, because sea level rise is happening everywhere. It's happening at variable rates in different parts of the world, but we're seeing it everywhere, and that's definitely providing, presenting a significant threat to the infrastructure in that area. Airports can be threatened by this. Certainly coastal, low-lying airports, so Logan Airport in Boston, JFK, New York, are 2 examples of airports that are very close to the ocean and not very far above sea level, and therefore will likely see significant challenges. That can be another key infrastructural area. And then, of course, it's highways. It can be train lines. Here in places like the United States, we have to worry about those perhaps being inundated and having to relocate them. In other parts of the world where I do work, such as Sub-Saharan Africa, we need to look at the speed with which infrastructure can degrade. It's one thing to build a road in Sub-Saharan Africa. It's an entirely different thing to make sure that road is maintained over time. And